Europeans use their basements as wine cellars, workshops, and living spaces that stay perfectly dry for centuries. Americans spend thousands waterproofing moldy basements that flood every spring and smell like wet concrete year-round. The hidden reason isn't climate or soil conditions, it's that American building codes actually require foundation designs that trap moisture and create mold factories under every house. Today, 90% of American basements develop moisture problems within 5 years of construction. By the end of this video, you'll see the $50 foundation modification that European builders have used for 800 years to eliminate basement moisture forever. This invisible machinery began when American concrete companies realized they could make billions selling waterproofing systems, sump pumps, and moisture barriers to fix problems that proper foundation design prevents naturally. Companies like Basement Systems and Tremco lobbied building code committees to mandate below-grade construction methods that guarantee future moisture issues requiring expensive repairs. The result is a $15 billion basement waterproofing industry that profits from solving problems they helped create. Modern American foundations are actually designed to fail because wet basements generate more revenue than dry ones ever could. The failure here isn't just corporate greed, it's building codes written by the moisture barrier industry. American foundations use the waterproof from inside approach that traps moisture between concrete and soil, creating hydrostatic pressure that eventually forces water through any crack or joint. Meanwhile, building codes prohibit the French drain and breathing foundation techniques that have kept European cellars dry since medieval times. The regulations actually make it illegal to build foundations the way they were constructed successfully for centuries, forcing builders to use methods guaranteed to create moisture problems. Here's the engineering solution that medieval European builders mastered and modern Scandinavian architects still use today. Dry foundation design works through 3 physics principles working together that eliminate moisture at its source, rather than fighting it after it arrives. First, capillary break systems use gravel layers and French drains to divert groundwater away from foundation walls before it contacts concrete. Second, breathable foundation design allows vapor to escape naturally, rather than trapping it against waterproof barriers where it condenses into liquid water. Third, thermal bridge elimination uses insulation placement that prevents condensation by maintaining consistent temperatures on both sides of foundation walls. The Romans used these same principles to build underground structures that remain perfectly dry after 2,000 years without any modern waterproofing chemicals. Medieval European monasteries constructed cellars that preserved food and wine for centuries, using nothing but strategic drainage and vapor management. Traditional Scandinavian builders achieve bone-dry basements in climates far wetter than most American regions by working with physics instead of fighting natural moisture movement. Now let's talk about what this actually costs American homeowners compared to European solutions. The average American basement requires $8,000 to $15,000 in waterproofing systems, sump pumps, and dehumidifiers over its lifetime, with many systems failing within 10 to 15 years requiring complete replacement. A properly constructed European-style foundation using drainage principles costs approximately $50 or more in materials during initial construction, but eliminates moisture problems permanently without ongoing mechanical systems or chemical treatments. The savings in energy costs alone from not running dehumidifiers and sump pumps pays for the upgrade within 2 years. But here's the limitation most people don't realize. This solution requires specific soil conditions and grading to work optimally. In areas with extremely high water tables or heavy clay soils that prevent drainage, additional mechanical assistance may be necessary even with proper foundation design. However, for 75% of American homes, European drainage principles could eliminate basement moisture issues entirely while reducing long-term maintenance costs dramatically. The fix is simpler than most contractors want you to believe. Retrofit existing basements by installing exterior French drains and vapor-permeable foundation coatings that allow moisture to escape rather than trapping it against walls. For new construction, use the Scandinavian method. Place insulation on the exterior of foundation walls with continuous drainage systems that channel water away from the structure before it can create pressure against basement walls. The tool that makes this easiest is understanding your local soil drainage characteristics and hiring contractors trained in European foundation techniques rather than American waterproofing systems. Some builders now specialize in dry basement construction using traditional European principles adapted for modern building codes. Your basement doesn't have to be a damp dungeon that requires constant mechanical intervention to stay dry. Europeans prove that proper foundation design can create usable underground spaces that stay comfortable naturally without pumps, chemicals, or dehumidifiers. If controlling moisture means controlling your home's foundation, then dry basements mean controlling your property's long-term value. Water finds a way, but European builders learn to work with it rather than against it. Now, I want to hear from you. Does your basement smell like mold or require constant dehumidification? Have you spent thousands on waterproofing systems that failed within years? Or do you live somewhere that basement moisture simply isn't an issue? Share your basement experiences in the comments. If you found this exploration of foundation moisture solutions helpful, hit subscribe. There's a whole series here revealing why American building methods create problems that traditional techniques solved centuries ago. See you in the next one.